story now. Like I said, I wanted to share the story. It was evening by 5 p.m., but I don't think I'll be free in the evening, so I decided to share the story now. So it all started this year. Yeah, I should I say this year? It all started the last day, December. So I was looking for an apartment, and there's this apartment I got. So the agents I met that got the apartment for me brought me to the apartment for an inspection and all of that. So when I came, I inspected the apartment and I liked it. I made my payment. That was December. Yeah. So I didn't move in immediately. I moved in. I hope my speaker you okay. Speaker is off. So I moved in the February. Yeah, February this year. Now, fast forward to the whole thing that happened. When I moved in February this year, where I stay currently, there is no light. We don't have light. Should I say the entire area doesn't have light? There is no electricity supply. Now, and the apartment being a new apartment, and the owner of the apartment knowing fully well that there is no electricity, so she had to provide a means of giving the tenants electricity supply. So she agreed that she was going to install solar panel for the tenants. So she handed over the property to someone she introduced as her son to us, the tenants. So she handed over the property to the person and told us that after the solar installation, there will be a monthly payment, 7,000 naira after the installation. So we both agreed. We both agreed because there is no electricity anywhere around this area. So we both agreed. Now the solar installation was supposed to take place January. It didn't happen, and she already gave money to the guy in charge of the compound to install the solar. Now, fast forward to when they install the solar. Before the solar installation, we had several meetings because the owner of the property doesn't come around. He's actually an elderly woman, yes, an advanced woman. So she handed over the property to this. We had another meeting that the mom, which is the guy, the landlady introduced to us as her son, called us for a meeting that the mom said that, that we all, sorry, that we'll be paying 15,000 naira monthly as just like NEPA bill. If you're in Nigeria, you understand what I mean. We pay here in Nigeria, we pay monthly for electricity consumption. So after the installation, by April, I think April 14th or 15th, thereabout. So after the installation, he told us that the mom said the monthly bill for the solar is no longer 7,000 naira, that is 15,000 naira. Okay, we said no, 15,000 naira is too much for solar. The initial agreement was 7,000 naira. So how come 15,000 naira? Mind you, all before the monthly payment, we all paid 50,000 naira to be able to pay for workmanship. Yeah. So that was the statement that he said. The mom said we should pay the sum of 50,000 naira to support the installation of the solar. So we agreed. Now the mother said that the 50,000 naira will be deducted on our next renewal. That if you will renew your rent at expiration, if you're not renewing, it will be refunded back to you. So we agreed. Now fast forward, we we didn't agree with the tenant because we are 13 tenants plus him 14. So we said no. 50,000 naira is actually just 10,000 naira now. We requested to see the mother to have a one-on-one meeting with the mom. He said whatever thing he is telling us is what the mom has instructed. We requested for the phone number. He said he cannot give us his mom's phone number, that he is passing information the mom gave. Okay, mind you all, this guy gave us, me particularly, when I moved in, I requested for my house receipt. So I was given a house receipt, and the mom's number, the contact, is on the house receipt. Okay, nobody thought of trying to call the number on the house receipt because we believed, yeah, because he is the landlord, the landlady's son. So we didn't have any cause or anything to doubt whatever he was telling us. So he made us believe that the number on that house receipt was irrelevant, not in, believe whatever thing he was telling us is because we requested that bring your mother or give us her contact. Let's speak with her. Again, deliberate on this price because it's too much. The guy insisted that no, that we cannot speak with the mother, that he stand in the gap of his. At the end of the day, we deliberated on the price. We some At the end of the day, we deliberated. Most persons ended up paying 10,000. Some ended up paying 7,000. I myself, I was paying 8,000 naira every month. Now, this solar installation was supposed to happen January. This same guy delayed it to February. We also suffered till we also suffered till April when he installed the solar. Before the solar installation, every day each tenant was paying 30,000. I think some paid 4,000 naira to fuel a generator for pumping of water because there is no light. So we should have water. Okay, that aside, the monthly electricity payment for the solar has been concluded because nobody agreed to pay the 15,000 naira. So we agreed on different prices. Nobody knew that we are all paying different amounts because it was something he was doing secretly. It was later everything had to review. Now fast forward to the story. So one fateful day, the mom came around because she have a piece of land she wants to sell. She came around to check out the land and also to show the land around to the buyer. I think so. So when she came around, she called on the son. Before I go to the land, I'm skipping something. I'm missing something. There's something I'm missing. There is one particular apartment in this house that brought about this whole issue. Now, that particular apartment, I think if not more than three persons has moved into this particular apartment and moved that in the space of December 2025. This is 2026. So The last lady that moved into the apartment, the last lady that moved into the apartment, when the agent that brought the lady, brought the lady was not properly put through on how the compound is running. The agent only told the lady that when you pay 50,000 naira, when you pay 50,000 naira for the solar, which covers for the year, the lady was not told that after paying the 50,000, she will also be paying monthly bills for the solar. She was not properly informed. Now, when the lady moved in, she paid everything, moved into her apartment. Later, she found out that she had, she would be not had, that she would be paying monthly. When she discovered, she was like, no, that she can't meet up. The expenses will be too much on her. That she wants to move out. Okay. She called on the landlady's son, explained to her, to him rather, and she didn't wait to she didn't wait to get a refund before moving out. She moved out immediately as agreed with the landlady's son. The landlady's son told her, once I give her the house to someone else, I'll refund your money. This lady barely stayed a month. I think she stayed just 3 weeks, thereabout. She moved out. And now the apartment was given out to us. Landlady's son was supposed to refund this lady her money. I think her money is about 600 and something thousand. So he was supposed to refund the money to her. He didn't refund the money. Nobody knew that the money has not been refunded after the apartment has been given out to somebody else. Until one day, I was in my house. I heard a knock. Somebody knocked on the door, on his door rather. I had to look. I saw the lady with a lawyer. I was like, why is this lady coming with a lawyer to this compound? Has the issue not been resolved? Didn't the guy refund her again? Because the next day, the lady came back with 3 police officers and that same lawyer. That was when the whole matter began to escalate, and the whole truth hidden under the carpet began to come out. So after that, the same period, that was when the mom came around and wants to show people who wants to buy her piece of land around the land. So when the woman came, there is other apartments. Mind you, sorry, I'm really skipping this whole thing. I'm really skipping it. Mind you, before this house was given out to the final person who is now currently living in the apartment, this whole transaction that has been going on in the apartment, the owner of this house, which is the landlady, the mother to the caretaker, I don't know if that word is correct, the caretaker. The whole transaction that has been going on, the woman is not aware. She has no idea of the transaction going on that particular apartment. Aside that, I think there's there's I think there's two other apartments the guy gave out, and the mom is not aware of it and didn't receive the payment, nothing. So the day she came to inspect the land, she called the son. Why is these two apartments locked? Has it been taken? Please get me the keys. Let me open it so that people will know that it's still up for rent. This one said, I'm coming back. Let me go get the key. That was why he disappeared. Now his disappearance opened so many things, revealed so many things that has been going on. So when he disappeared, then the next day, the lady came back again. That was when everybody in the compound was like, what's going on? What's happening? Haven't this guy refunded this lady because the apartment has been taken? Now, the third time I think the lady came back with the police officers and the lawyer. When this lady, when the owner of this property came back, that was when we all knew that the person she claimed to be her son is not her real son. And she doesn't know anything about this person. How did she get to hand over this property to the person? The guy was a laborer. When they were building the house, he was assisting, he was a laborer, just like messing guys. I don't know how, I don't know if you're in Nigeria, I'm in Nigeria, you should understand what I'm saying. So the guy was assisting, acting all good. So he gained the woman's trust, and the woman had to hand over the property to him to manage for her. Even gave him a free apartment to live. Now, when the whole matter escalated, because this guy, his biological mom knows what was going on. Because I remember there was a time when we were deliberating and debating on the electricity monthly bill. There is one of my neighbor who insisted that she wants to speak with the mom about the price because it's too much. This guy gave this my neighbor his real mother's contact, and they spoke over the phone. The woman, according to them, the woman said, this price is too much. I cannot afford it. What I can afford is 8,000 naira monthly. Now, they told them when this other lady that escalated this whole thing would came, they told her, I think the fourth day, yes, sorry. When she came before them with horsepower, I say horsepack, sorry, horsepack and three policemen and the lawyer. When they came the fourth day, they came to uninstall the solar. Why? That the owner of the property instructed that they should uninstall the solar pending on when they balance the lady her money. We are like, I don't understand how. How will she instruct that they should uninstall solar over how much? Solar of how many million over how much thousand? Everybody had to come out, and we were all out shouting that you cannot, there is no way you will uninstall the solar. We all paid for the solar. Yes, because of a truth, we all paid for the solar. Imagine all of us in the compound contributed 50,000 naira for the solar installation. So we contributed, we bought it for the now is our property. So we still have a say over the solar. Okay. We are all shouting. said, and we said, okay, if this woman wants to uninstall the solar, she should refund us the 50,000 naira we all paid before the solar was installed. The talk was going left, right, up and down. Before that, the agent who lady was detained, according to him. He said he was detained, detained in the police station because the lady reported. The lady reported him, took him to the police. And he also told us that it was because of him. He has been the one blocking EFCC not to come to the compound to pick everybody, because according to what he said, that the lady made an entry that everybody living in the compound is into what fraudulent. That's her main reason of packing out. She never stated the reason she left. She just used that as a yardstick to get back her money by involving everybody living in the compound that we are all fraudsters, that she's suspect, that's a suspect, that's the reason why she left. So the agent who brought the lady was like, that we should be grateful that he has been the one blocking EFCC not to come to the compound to pick up everybody. We are like, how? Why would EFCC come to the compound to pick up everybody? We are all tenants. He also paid just the way she paid, just that she was not cool with the monthly payment and all of that. That's the reason she left. We are still on that. We talked from here to there, here. So just everybody who came out. We are shouting that is not possible. You cannot take out this solar we all paid for. They left when they left that day. All this thing, this I think this happened last July, and ever since I moved into this compound, February, I haven't set my eyes on the owner of this property. I've never set my eye, and she never came, not until the day she to inspect the land. She wants to sell out. Now, when those people left, there is someone who knows the landlady better and also has that. She called her, told her there is something going on, a serious issue is going on in her compound. So the next day, she came. When she came the next day, you know, we began to complain, began to tell her what has been going on in the compound, how we all paid 50,000 naira to assist for the solar installation. She was like, hell no, that she never said something like that. She never needed our assistance. She never asked for our assistance. That she gave the boy, which is her son, the money since January to install the solar. It was the day she came, the second time. She made it clear to us that the guy is not her son. We are all shocked. He is not your son, but you introduced him to us as your son. And we all made payments to him. We paid house rent to him. We paid every other charges to him, every damn thing. Okay. We said, okay. He told us that you said after the solar installation, we'll be paying 15,000 naira monthly. He said no, that he didn't say 15,000 naira, that she didn't say 50,000 naira. She said 12,000 naira. We said 12,000 naira. That some of us pays 8,000, some pay 10,000, some pay 7,000. She said that's not what she said. She specifically told him that the monthly charges is 12,000 naira, and she is not aware of the 50,000 naira we paid for the solar. Matters are rising. This guy in question, as to speak, is on the run. He's nowhere to be found. Not just that, he has been going underground, extorting money from the tenants, telling some of them. I think the last, the last, the last thing he came up with before this whole thing escalated was, the mom said we should contribute extra money to add extra solar panel to the one we have already, because we are in rainy season. He even called for a meeting. Nobody came out for the meeting. Nobody was interested to come out for the meeting because it was as if the payment was becoming too much. Every now and then you're paying, will pay from this, pay to that, pay to this, pay to that. So nobody showed interest in the meeting. So nobody came out for the meeting. Now, so the woman was telling us that he's not my son. I just liked him. I met him because he was calling me mommy, mommy this, mommy that. I also accepted him as my son. That she doesn't know him from anywhere. She met her in the compound while the work was still in progress or in progress. We said, okay. So about the 50,000 naira we paid because that's not just the only thing we've been paying for. Now, the monthly charges we pay for the electricity. There are some persons who have paid for straight 1 year, excluding the 50,000 naira we paid. We all paid for the solar installation. There are persons who have paid, just if you're in Nigeria, I don't know how other country do there. I don't know how it works in other country. If you're in Nigeria, you understand what I'm saying. We pay here, we pay for electricity bill every month. So some persons calculated and paid for one full year because they don't want anybody coming to their door knocking at their door for electricity payment and all of that. So they paid once. I myself wanted to pay 4 months ahead upfront. I wanted to pay before the whole matter escalated. Okay, the woman came. When she came, she made it clear to us that the boy is not her son. She collected our numbers, our contacts, and we were expecting her to call us back. Now, police took her because the lady came back with her lawyer. Police took her to the station to at least refund back the lady's money. While we were on that, the woman was still around, which is the landlady. Two other underage, but I think about 18 years, 16, 17 years, came that same day, the one was around that day. These two boys came around. We opened the gate for them. They came inside. We asked them, who are they looking for? They said they paid for an apartment here. So they came to check if the person who occupies the apartment has moved. So they will move in. We were like, which apartment? There is no free apartment. There is no vacant boy. The landlady's son, because so far this matter is concerned, this case is concerned, he remains the landlady's son because she introduced him to us as her son. This same landlady's son has already collected from these boys. The rent, the actual price for the rent is 300K, and this boy collected 450,000 naira from these boys. And the apartment he collected the money from, someone is still currently occupying the apartment. What did he do? He told these two boys that this person is moving out soon, so you make your payment. Those boys paid. He had another number. He was chatting these boys in place of the person who occupies the apartment, telling them that I'm the one who currently occupies the apartment and I'll be moving out soon. These boys believed. So when they came that day, the landlady went to the station with the two boys and the other lady. I don't know. This, according to people who went there, they say she was detained and later was released. She settled the lady there. She paid the lady, I think about 600 something thousand. This lady told the landlady that she doesn't want that actual amount, that he should refund her 500 something thousand naira and keep the balance. But the guy didn't refund a dime. And this person who recently moved into the apartment paid 2 years, that's 1,050,000 naira. He had a lot after refunding the guy, but he refused after refunding the lady, but he refused refunding the lady. So the real owner of the property went to the station, cleared everything, paid, they refunded the lady. we here, we are all expecting her to come back, address us, call a meeting, tell us what happened. And at least because we are all victim, we all paid. Like there's nobody in this house who didn't pay after house rent. Okay. When this lady came back, the owner of the house, the landlady came back for the third time. She came with a lawyer. Now to make the whole issue worse, she came with a lawyer. First of all, she denied that she was not aware of the 50,000 naira each tenant paid for the solar. She denied it. And she also said that she is not aware. She is not aware of the other apartment that has been given out. I don't think I really have. I'm talking about what has to do with the tenant because we are all affected. So when she came back with a lawyer, introduced us to the lawyer. She never came back after she went to the station, come back to us to at least address us, plead with us. She didn't do that because we are all expecting her to do that. So she came back with the lawyer, introduced the lawyer to us. We all introduced ourselves to the lawyer. Now, the lawyer came with his own strategy. Because when we had a meeting with the lawyer, when we introduced ourselves to the lawyer, and the landlady said, "Do we have anything to say?" Some of us, of course, we have something to say. We are both pointing out her mistakes. We told her where she made mistake. We said, "Okay, you know you didn't know this boy. This boy is not your real son. But you allowed all payments go through him." She said she didn't know that the boy will turn out to be like this. She didn't know that. She didn't know that. We said, "Okay." On the other hand, the lawyer came in and was trying to, he was telling us that, okay, that this is a case of fraud. Now, we expected the lawyer to ask us, we were all affected as to know how to handle the issue, the case, or the matter. But this lawyer was on the side of this woman. Don't quote me wrong. Of course, as a lawyer, he is supposed to be on the side of the landlady. But then again, all the tenants are all victims. The lawyer was trying to convince us that since the landlady, the owner of the property, is also affected and being defrauded, just like us, we should just let go of our own side. We're like, this whole thing is now sounding like it's a plan work. The landlady and the son connived to defraud or to extort money from the tenant. How can you tell us to all forget about the money the landlady's son extorted from us? This boy in question is the landlady's son. The landlady introduced him to us as her son. So do you expect us to do otherwise? Because the lawyer was saying, it's not everything someone tells you should believe. We shouldn't have believed everything the landlady's son was telling us. We are like, wow, this is landlady's son. Whatever thing that comes out of his mouth is what we should believe, and we have no right to doubt or argue with him because she introduced him to us as her son. So do you expect us to start arguing or doubting whatever he tells us? The lawyer said, no, that's not what he's saying. That's not what he means. That's not what that. We should just see that we are all defrauded. We said, no, We cannot see it like we are all defrauded. If you want us to see it like we are all defrauded, it means that the landlady is aware of everything. Now, what happened? When this landlady brought this lawyer, mind you, this woman first said she was not aware of the 50,000 naira we all paid for the solar. She was not aware. But when she brought the lawyer, they shifted the 50,000 naira we paid to be yearly. The lawyer said the 50,000 naira we paid for the solar covers for the year, that we are not supposed to pay, that we are not going, no, we are, it's not, he didn't say we are not supposed to pay. He said the 50,000 naira covers for the year, that we are not going to pay monthly again. We are all surprised. How is it possible? This woman here said she was not aware of the 50,000. How come this 50,000 naira is supposed to be covered for the year? And after we've been paying monthly charges for the solar, and here you are telling us that this 50,000 naira covers for the year. Okay, what happens to the money, the ones who've been paying months, and for those that has paid 1 year? The lawyer wants to come and attempt an effort to call him, to call her father. The whole matter went on. Now, this woman left everything on. We say it's not our business, it is our own business. Someone you introduced to us as your son defrauded us. So just tell us how you want to refund us our money. We are not talking about the rent. Now, this lawyer came back and told us that we are giving tenancy agreement. The main reason why we shouldn't have believed everything coming from the guy, somebody the landlady introduced us to the tenant, and you expect us not to believe everything coming from him. He said, okay, that he will come back with tenancy agreement. Every one of us, we have to pay for tenancy agreement 30%. Mind you, this apartment is of two prices. We have the one of 400,000 and we also have the one of 300,000. Okay, we told them that the 10% you're talking about is for what? He said it's for legal fee. We told him no, that we paid legal fee, we paid caution fee. So we've all paid all these things. There is no need of us paying it again. He said, was there a lawyer when we paid it? The whole story is not just making sense. Was there a lawyer? Did we pay the legal fee to the lawyer, to a lawyer? We said, how can we pay legal fee to a lawyer when we didn't pay house rent to a lawyer? How is that even possible? You said that's where it's a fraud, that we are all defrauded. We are telling that it's not our fault and it's not our business. We are all defrauded. We are all defrauded by by the person the landlady brought as her son. So you don't expect. He insisted. Then he came one day. Now, instead of the lawyer to do the right thing by calling general meeting to address every affected, know and know how to tackle or handle the issue, he was having an individual meeting with everybody, like going door to door, asking everybody, how much did you pay? Did you pay this? You pay 10% legal fee, this one, that one. We said, no, we cannot pay extra legal fee because we have already paid legal fee. He said, did we pay to a lawyer? Okay, the question we're asking is, you want legal fee, you want 10%. Did we pay any house rent to you? He said that the legal fee is for is to ascertain that yes, we are really part of we are one of the tenants. Yes, is to show that we are one of the tenants. That if you don't pay the 10%, that will you move out. The whole thing got complicated. At the end of the day, nobody in the compound, everybody, nobody accepted to pay the 10% legal fee because we've all paid for legal fee to you when we didn't pay house rent to you. So we are telling you that, okay, sir, if you want this 10%, you have to be to wait for the new set. Anybody that comes, anybody that pays a fresh rent, you take your legal fee from the person. As for us, currently living here, we've paid our legal fee. He was making it a mandatory. So he brought the tenancy agreement. Of course, I read the tenancy agreement. When I got to the where he said that a 10%, my 10% is 30,000 naira. My 10% of the legal fee is 30,000 naira. And then I forgot to say this. Now my house rent is 300,000 naira. If I'm renewing next year, I'll be adding 50,000 naira for the solar instead of paying monthly. I will be paying 350,000 naira. So my 10% is 30,000 naira. And he also added another percentage from the solar. So my 10% is 35,000 naira. When I go to that page, I told him, sir, there is no way I will pay extra 10% after paying my legal fee to the same person I paid house rent to. He said, that means uh, I'm not that I'm not recognized in the compound. If I cannot pay the 10% fee, once my rent is due, I should move out of the house. That I'm not recognized as part of one of the tenants and all of that. I was like, are you serious? Because I don't want to give you extra 10%. This is fraud. You're coming with another fraudulent pattern. You also want to defraud, just like the way the guy did. Just like the guy did. He defrauded us with using his mother's name, extorting money from us. And here you are also wanting to defraud us. What is expected of you is to just let go of this year. Anybody who moves out of the compound, out of the apartment, and somebody else moves in, as the person is paying, the person is also paying you legal fee because that person is a new tenant. We are all tenants here. So you cannot tell me that I paid house rent. I should pay house rent to somebody else and go outside to look for a lawyer to give a legal fee. It's not possible. I paid my legal fee to the same person I paid house rent to. So my legal fee is not coming to you. He said they have said it that if you are not paying the 10%, once your rent is due, because all of us, I think about 12 of us here, our rent will be due by December. Am I due all? I forgot to say something. About 3 persons paid 2 years extra. That's they paid extra 1 year after they paid the first house rent. This same woman said she's not aware of the 2 years. That she didn't receive money for 2 years. She received money from 1 year, for 1 year from each of these 3 persons that paid extra 1 year. In other words, she is trying to tell us that the guy connived, or the guys, I don't know any other better words to use. He is trying to tell us that the guy didn't give him, didn't tell him of the second year these 3 persons paid, just the 1 year. Okay, back to the lawyer. We were all like, okay, so why not just call general meeting, address all of us? You're going individually, serving this tenancy agreement to everybody. They should all sign. They will pay 10%. I signed. I think about 12 of us signed. The rest persons didn't sign. I signed because I know my rights. I cannot give it. So I want to hear from all of you. I want to hear from all of you. I signed because It's a tenancy agreement. I didn't sign because I will have to, I'm supposed to pay for the 10%. No, I've paid for my legal fee. Now, back to another thing. We paid caution fee. And of course, caution fee is refundable if you're moving out. I was asking him, sir, I paid caution fee. I hope my caution fee will be refunded if I'm moving out. He was not even straight. He wasn't even going straight to the question I asked him. Uh, Caution fee is this: if nothing happens to the apartment, uh, if the apartment is left intact just the way you met it, the caution fee will be this. I said, okay. I didn't want to deliberate on that too much because I know that I handle everything in this apartment carefully. Because I don't want anybody telling me you spoiled this, you spoiled that. For that reason, the caution fee will not be refunded. Now, I asked him because now I'm asking for myself. I'm not speaking for other. I said after paying the 50,000 naira for the solar panel, which you have diverted to be for yearly, how about the extra month I've paid for this same solar? I hope it will be refunded. Eh, that we should all see it as a fraud. That the woman was also defrauded. So we should all see it as fraud. We should take it as fraud. We should just let go of it. I said I should let go of my money I paid to landlady's son. Landlady is aware of this money in as much as this woman introduced this guy as her son. She's aware of every penny we paid in this compound. So are you now telling me that I should let go of the extra month I've paid? Just take it as fraud. It's one of those things. The landlady is also defrauded. If any one of you now, the lawyer was saying, we should go and look for the boy that defrauded us. Are you kidding me? We should go and look for the boy that defrauded us. That the landlady is not aware. Even the landlady herself said the same thing, that we should look for the boy, that she is also looking for the boy, that she has mounted people everywhere to help him get the boy. Your tenant should go and look for your son that defrauded us and bring him to you or what? Because that statement didn't make sense to me. It didn't make any sense. So currently now, the matter is not settled yet because the lawyer didn't say anything reasonable. He didn't say anything tangible. Rather, he was after his own 10%. And also paid for their legal fee to also give you 10%, another percent because we didn't pay directly to lawyer. Now that lawyer is involved, he wants us to repeat the legal fee that we've paid. Like he wants to start making money immediately from the apartment. Tell me, isn't this fraudulent? Is this normal? I want to know because I need your opinion. I want your opinion. I don't know. Does this sound normal? So the person defrauded us, and later on you came, you just met him. And in midst of all of these things, you brought in a lawyer. You seen us properly before bringing in a lawyer. This. There was a day I went to work. I returned back from work. This guy came, knocked at my door. I came out. He asked me, will you be renewing your rent? I said, what happened? That I don't know. Sure for now until next year. He said, okay, that the mother wants to sell out the property. Complaining so much that she's not making enough from this particular property. You know, sent me. I was advising him, uh-uh, why does she want to sell it? That this is property. Property appreciates with time, not knowing that all this was his plan. He had a plan of selling out this property without the woman's notice, without the woman's knowledge. So when this woman came, when this whole matter started, the whole matter was fresh and it's still on now. The matter is still on because till date, nobody has accepted. Some persons kept their agreement, their tenancy agreement without signing it, according to the lawyer, that you're not making enough from this particular property. And this got all of us thinking because this woman not being reasonable. She's not being reasonable in the sense that, but she also wants us to lose alongside with her. No, she didn't do the right thing. She's not being reasonable. You didn't come back to address us. The next time you came back with a lawyer who is also after his own interest. Because the first legal fee wasn't paid directly to him. And I begin to wonder, was the house rent paid to you? That April next year, not at the end of this year. He is not looking at that. And we are all letting that slide. What we are talking about now is the money we all paid after the 50,000 naira we paid for the solar fee. The ones who have been paying monthly and the extra, some persons paid 150,000 naira for the solar. That aside is not inclusive the one they pay monthly. Some paid 100,000. After paying the 100,000, they are still paying monthly. Now, this woman is not being reasonable in the sense she refused to look into these things on how to refund your tenant, how to balance it. Okay, if you're going to tell them, okay, this is how much you paid, I cannot refund you. You can stay extra month to cover up for the money you paid. That's the mistake. Take the mistake upon yourself because you made the mistake. You introduced this person as a son to us. So it's your mistake, not our mistake. It's your fault. I don't. She and the lawyer began to apportion blame, some of the blame to us. They also want us to understand that she was defrauded, not just us. Okay. You didn't settle issues with, you brought in a lawyer. How does that even make any sense? And the lawyer you brought in want to defraud us too. Is the lawyer doing the right thing? Because I want to understand, I want it to make sense if we are the one not understanding the law. Because as a lawyer, you came into matters like this. You're supposed to have a general meeting, have one-on-one talk with the tenant, and know how to address the issue, know how to follow it up, know how you can refund back the money or balance up everything. First off, for those that paid extra 1 year, they they wanted to deny it, like they wanted to let it slide that since the landlord didn't get that extra 1 year you paid after the initial one you paid, she's not aware of it. For that reason, we are not aware of that particular money. That money has to be at your own loss. He was asking us for proof of payment. Me particularly, he asked me for my proof of payment. I went to the bank. I got my statement of account. Everything is still intact. In my description, when I made my payment, I added house rent. When I paid for caution fee and legal fee, both the solar, I included it in my description. I added caution fee, solar panel, and legal fee. He asked us to bring all this proof of payment, and when we all brought, some of us didn't even look into the proof of payment because he knows that what his direction, the direction he's taking this matter to is not real, is not supposed to be so. He is taking it in the direction that it will be at his own benefit, not at our own benefit. Imagine telling someone who lost about about 150,000 naira after paying for solar panel. You're telling the person to count it as defrauding. And those that paid extra 1 year, you're trying to tell them that it's also it's also this in fraud. They should also count it as fraud. How does that even make sense? This is your property. If this woman is to be charged to court, she should be held accountable because first off, you made it known to them that this is my son. He has the answer to your question, your complaint, whatever you want to know about the property, whatever thing you want to do, whatever payment you want to make goes to him. And all of a sudden, this person is no longer your son. The solar payment you made, you are not aware of, you became aware of it all of a sudden. All of a sudden, you want us to let the money we all paid slide. You want us to all take it as fraud because you're also affected. Now, this one aside, the personal business, this guy had personal business with few of the tenants. He lied to some of them that he had a big farm. Persuaded with some of them to invest. Some of them invested, some didn't invest. And the pig farm, everything happens to be lie. That one is personal. That is personal between him and the people who invested. Now, the one that is general. This woman refused to look into it. Rather, she came with a lawyer. I need your opinion. How do you people like? I want you all to drop what you think on this matter. Did the landlady do the right thing? Is the lawyer also doing the right thing? Because if you ask me, the lawyer is off track. He didn't do the right thing, and he is not also doing the right thing. He is after his own pockets because insisting that we should pay 10% that already paid means that he is fighting for his own personal interest, his own pockets. He's not here to make things right. Rather, I think he even wants us, if it's even possible for all of us to just move out at the same time, so that he will put in fresh people, fresh tenants, then 10%. He will do it. So for that reason, now his point of bringing this 10%, and if you're not paying the 10%, you have to move out is if you must stay in the house, if you must renew your rent, you have to pay the 10%. If you're not renewing, you move out of the compound, you move out of the apartment once your rent expires. That is on point. That is his point. And that's why some people have refused to sign. I don't know. As for me, once my rent expires, I'll be moving out because I cannot. Besides, from here to my workplace, I spend a lot of money. And I don't even want to talk about that because that is personal. I brought this issue online because it has to do with law. It's something that involves more than 12 persons, and it's something that I need to hear from public opinion what's this, and if the lawyer is actually doing the right thing, because to me the lawyer is not doing the right thing, and the landlady as well. The landlady's and she's also moving in the wrong direction. If you ask me, this lawyer will also defraud her. So she started all of this, and the whole thing didn't end well. She's also going to a wrong direction. So please, I would want your opinion, your suggestion, what you think, what you think the tenants should do about this. Was me signing on that tenancy agreement wrong? But I know it's not wrong. It's a tenancy agreement. In as much as I didn't accept, in as much as I know my rights and will not pay that 10%, I don't think it's also wrong or also a mistake that I signed the tenancy agreement. Yes, I don't think so. And for those that didn't sign, do you think it's a wise idea that they didn't sign? And do you also think that if this person, this landlady in question, is charged to court, we don't win the case? Because yes, your son defrauded us. Until this matter is being sorted out, that boy remains her son. Because we don't just come here and start making payment to a stranger. We don't know. We made payment to landlady's son. So what do you all think? Your opinion, advice, suggestion is needed. Thank you. And God bless you. Please do well to subscribe to my channel. Also share this video because I want as much as opinion, suggestion, whatever. Just like I want to know that I did make mistake, and also the people who didn't say did make mistake, and where we are making mistake, and where the landlady and the lawyer and her lawyer is also making mistake, and if this lawyer is right.